Okay, we're going to take a look at our oil pump here. Pop, let's pick up tube out. It basically pulls out like so. It's got an O-ring on it, right? And there's a screen on it. Nope, it picks up any garbage rather than running it through the engine. You can see this here. This is our oil pressure relief valve. Okay, basically it's a spring and a piston, and that monitors or makes it so that if the oil pressure gets too high, it doesn't blow seals out. So it's a little seal here. There's our spring, and then we got a piston. You just want to make sure that's clean, that's not galled up. So that's in pretty good shape. This one's actually got a little bit of galling on it. You really can't hurt these pumps taking them apart like this. See how that's, let's see, it's kind of scratched up a little bit there. So, but it moves in and out nice and free, so I'm not worried about that part. And put this back on. We're going to run these down evenly, come back and torque them, obviously. Okay, we can also take our oil pump apart and take a look at it. See what's in there. It's basically just a gear pump. Not a lot to it. Keep track of where our bolts came from. There's our cover. A lot of times when the oil pump wears out, this cover will be really chewed up. This one's got a little wear on it, but it's not bad. Let's see. I'd have to take the gear off the other side, but we can look at our gears and they look pretty good. So I'm going to go with that. It turns pretty easily. But basically what happens in this oil pump, oil comes in this side, and so it would turn this way, and it pulls the oil around these little holes and shoves it out the other side. Atmospheric pressure pushes it in to help it feed the pump. But to bolt it back together, we just bolt it back together. I don't see anything wrong with that, so I'm not going to mess with this one. I mean, usually you're not going to rebuild them anyways, you're just going to get a new pump, but that would be a good thing to do if you have an oil pressure issue. Take a look at it and see what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and torque these back down. I may have to put it in vise to do this. And they're lubed, so we're going to go to 35. Okay. If they weren't lubed, I'd be a little concerned. So, anyways, torque them. Torque your relief valve back down. I can put that back on when I put it on the engine. Okay, we're going to put our oil pump on. Bolts right here. A couple of dowels that make it fit in there. Put the bolts in. Okay, we're going to go ahead and install our pickup and supply tube. So we lubed that O-ring there. It's going to go into this port on the block. This one is going to go into here. There's two bolts that hold it down. So let's see. We go two bolts here to hold it down. That's that gasket we just made. There's not always a gasket there. I like to put one there because if there was a leak there, it could cause some low oil pressure issues. So like I said, it's not just a insurance thing. torque our bolts. What I got it set at? Well, I'm going to go up to 40. Okay. Torque that one. Kind of a critical thing here. The other thing we need to do is make sure we have backlash on our gears, which we'll do in a second. I'll move this so you can see it. You can hear that gear clunking, moving back and forth. Got to make sure we have that. Okay, we need to make sure we have backlash. So I just got my dial indicator set up. Let's see how much I got. So there it's zeroed. You can see I've got about 12 thousandths, which is well within our spec. Usually it's, oh, actually it's less than that. We're at 12 there and 1 there, so we're 11. Usually allowed like 2 to 16. Same thing on down here. Need to have backlash, and we'll measure that. The cam, this gear too. So that's super important to have that backlash. Okay, this oil pan is no different than any other one. Make sure the pan rail's clean. There's a gasket on the pan, a paper gasket. So I don't need to put anything else on it. Normally I'd replace it, but this one's still in pretty good shape. I'm going to put a bead there, here, here. If I don't, I guarantee it'll leak oil. So make sure you're putting that on there like so. We're gonna just look in here and double check I didn't forget anything. Cooling nozzles are in, the oil pump's on. Not much else to remember, so. Okay. Oil pan's kind of heavy. They're not horrible though. A long extension on your torque wrench like this works. You put this on, you want to start at the middle and work your way towards the ends. I've already went through and torqued these. Something I forgot to mention earlier, if you ever pull the flywheel or the front cover, you need to make sure you pull the oil pan first, because you saw where those splits were that we put the silicone on. If you don't, there's a possibility of breaking either the pan or the cover, so just something to remember.